marriage. You won't. And that is absolutely true. That is not made up. And all you have to do is try it. And I know people, I taught a class on the rules, the rights and responsibilities of marriage, and people came and told me, my marriage changed. It's much better than it was. We had all these problems. Now we don't have them anymore because we know, oh, you're right, I have to do that. That's my job. Right? And most of it is on the man. The onus is on the man. That's the thing. See, because women, part of the thing is men don't realize what it is. The jihad of women is to be a wife. Men don't realize that. It's a hadith. She's a mujahidah just by being a wife. That is not, understand that. Really. Understand what that means. The Prophet ﷺ said, women came and they complained to him. They said, we see the men going out on jihad, getting all this reward. What do we get? He said, a woman who raises her family and takes care of her husband, it gets the same reward as a mujahid for doing that. So think about what a mujahid is. That's a difficult task, to go out and struggle in the face of Allah, to defend Islam. She's defending Darul Islam in her house. She's preserving Islam for the next generation by raising Muslim children, if she's doing it properly. So she's a mujahidah, and you have to respect that. The man has to respect that. It's difficult to be a wife. It's difficult to be a mother. They're very taxing jobs. And you just have to take care of a child for about an hour. A baby. Take care of a 1-year-old for 1 hour. Seriously. And you say, how does she do this for 24 hours a day? How does she... I can't do it for an hour, and I'm literally at the end of my rope. And so once you realize that, you begin to let go. And that's why Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةً. They have the same rights that are against them, but men have a daraja over them. Ibn Abbas said, the daraja is that the man gives up his rights. He relinquishes some of his rights that she owes him, but he fulfills all of his. All of her. That's the daraja. It's called daraja tanazul. يتنازل عن حقه ويوفي حقوقها. That's the preference. Because he has to show that magnanimity because he recognizes the difficulty. So people have to realize that. Now, I'm just going to, I know that you're saying the end, but I'll finish this and then I'm done, literally.
Actually, I asked the brothers and the sisters who received papers or who have papers to turn in their questions. Once he finishes in a few minutes, we'll go to questions and answer sessions.
Now, I'm just going to end this by saying, once you puberty, the trouble is that now the diseases of your heart are diseases. Before puberty, they're not. It's just nafs. But now they're amrad. And now you're responsible for them. And so I want to quickly go over the amrad of the heart. These are the spiritual diseases of the heart. All of them have cures in Islam. All of them have been mentioned by our imams and our sheikhs. And they all come from the Quran and from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And it's in alphabetical order. But they usually manifest earlier, but they're pathological at the age of puberty because now they affect your iman. Prior to that, you're not accountable. The first is bukhl, which is miserliness. That is a disease of the heart. To be a miser is a disease. A Muslim, a human being by nature is kareem. And if you're not kareem, you're sick. If you're not generous, you are sick. Generosity is the norm. Avarice, miserliness, is a disease. Al-batar. Batar is pride, and it's a type of national pride, arrogance. It's a specific type of pride. The Jahili Arabs were famous for it. The next is bughd, hating people. Hate is a disease of the heart. Human beings, you're not supposed to hate other people. That's not normal. If you hate people, something's wrong with your heart. Even the Anbiya did not hate people. They hated their actions. They look in the Quran. They don't hate the people. How can you guide people if you hate them? You shouldn't hate, like Americans, you shouldn't hate Americans. But the actions that are against Islam, that's what you hate. Because if you hate a people, you can't give them guidance. Your anger will prevent you from doing that. And most people, if you look at them, they're ignorant. They're in a state of ignorance. A kafir, a real kafir, is somebody who knows the truth and rejects it. The majority of these people have never even heard the truth to reject it. And if they've heard it, it's been presented in a distorted way that you yourself would reject if it was presented to you like that. If you thought Islam was what you read in the newspapers, you wouldn't want to be a Muslim. And this is what because we're not doing our job. And then you have al-baghi, which is a desire. Hubb al-manzila, love of position, is a disease. Hubb al-dunya, love of the world, is a disease of the heart. Hubb al-madh, bima lam yaf'al, loving to be praised for things you haven't done. This is the tenured professor syndrome.